Hi, my name's Ashley and I'm the pastor here at Southern Christian Church. I've got some really exciting news. We're going to try and get together from next week in person. How exciting is that? This is probably going to be our last YouTube service for a while, unless pandemics pick up again and we need to go back into lockdown. But if that doesn't happen, the plan is that this will be our last YouTube service, and from next week we'll be gathering in person. But it's not going to be in the community centre. Okay, we're not going to be going directly back to the kind of Sunday services we had back in March. We're going to take a bit of a long and meandering route before we get back there, and there's a few good reasons for that. If you've been in a small group sometime this week, you would have heard these 4 reasons from me in person, but I'm going to talk through them really quickly now. And if you want to have more information, come and ask me later. So number one reason why we're not going to go straight back to the community centre is that we don't own the building and it's actually not that easy to get back into it straight away. So we're going to give that a bit more time. Number 2 reason is that it takes a lot of effort to put on a Sunday service. Basically, everyone has to be involved in serving in a couple of ways. And we're going to take this opportunity to rethink all of that, to gather teams, to allocate our people resources in the best way. And that means that if you're a member, we're going to have a conversation with you over the next month or so. And it's going to be like, hey, how have you served in the past? Where are you interested in serving in the future? What would you like to do? Where do we have needs? And we're going to have a bit of a chat like that. If you're not a member, then expect us to have a conversation with you about, hey, are you interested in joining us? Maybe come along to the Get to Know Southern Lunch. Maybe think about getting on board with us, get on board with our mission, and then we'll ask you, hey, where do you think you could serve in this thing that we do on Sunday mornings? Our third reason is that third reason to not rush straight back into the same kind of services that we used to have is that a bunch of our staff are needing a bit of a holiday. And look, me personally, I'm about to move house, and I'd rather not be moving house at the same time that we're relaunching Sunday services. I know, sorry, that was really bad planning on my part. I should have arranged this pandemic completely differently. Anyway, sorry about that. I'd love to take a bit of a break, so we're not going to go straight back to the community centre the way we were. And the fourth reason is to take advantage of a really sweet opportunity we've got. So even though we are allowed to meet, we're going to spend a few weeks not meeting exactly the way we were, so that we can do something completely different. What we're going to do is gather in a house. Not the community centre, in a house in Jandakot. I'm not going to say the address online, but I will send out the details during the week. And if you don't normally get the email notices, then you've got to get in contact with me so that I can tell you where we're going to meet. It's a large house that we should all be able to fit in while still following coronavirus rules. What we're going to do when we get together in this house is all gather in one place for fellowship and to start looking at the topic of what it means to be a church and what it means to do church. Now, I'm not going to be preaching like I do here or I would normally do on a Sunday service back in the community centre, but I will be leading some big group and little group discussions. It's going to be way more interactive than anything we've done before. You'll get to meet people, eat food, ask questions, answer questions, have a laugh, or if you like, you'll be free just to sit back and absorb it all. I think it's going to be a bit different to what we're used to. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to do it for a few weeks. This is the kind of thing we wouldn't normally cancel a Sunday morning church for, but while we've got a period that we can meet together, but we're not meeting in the normal way, I think it's a great opportunity for us to do something different and really unpack and then put back together what we think about church. So stay tuned for more details. Like I said, if you want the details, you have to be on the mailing list. You've got to give us your details. If you've joined us online and we've never actually met you in person, you've got to reach out and get in touch with us so that we know you want to come and so we can tell you the address. You're very welcome. We'd love to get to know you, but you've got to let us know that you want to come. So make sure if you aren't getting the notices, if you haven't heard anything by the middle of this coming week, get in touch with me because you want to know where to come. Look forward to that. I'm going to hand over to Jess now, who's going to do some stuff with the kids, and then I'll be back to look at 1 Corinthians 13 a little bit later in this service.